अस्सलाम वालेकुम dear student, how are you? कैसे हैं आप? So today's our topic is introduction to cost and mm, management accounting. Cost and management accounting, chapter number 3. The first of all is fields of accounting. So what is an accounting? So in the previous chapter we also discussed what is an accounting. Actually, accounting, so it is a process of identifying the transactions, recording in the books of accounts, classifying the transactions, summarizing and preparing the financial statement from the accounting information system. So this is called our accounting. So accounting, we can say accounting, it is the, you can say for example, accounting, it is the process of accounting. It is the process of identifying the financial information or financial transaction with the help of a documentary evidence. So these are the following steps. Number one step is identifying the financial information or financial transaction with the help of a documentary evidence. For example, voucher bills and invoices. तो सबसे पहले हमने क्या करना होता है? So we have to identify the information with the help of a documentary evidence. Then using this documentary evidence, we will record the financial information in the books of accounts called journal. तो ये जो documentary evidence है, using this documentary evidence, so we will record the transaction in the books of account, the first book in which we are going to record the transaction, that is called journal. And in the third step, so whenever we have recorded in the journal, then the transactions will be posted into the ledger, and this process is called classifying the financial information with the help of a ledger accounts. So it is the third step in case of an accounting information system. Summarizing the financial information, then from the ledger accounts, so the balances will be extracted from the ledger account and shifted into the trial balance to summarize the financial transactions. तो ledger account के जो भी हमारे पास balances होंगे, so these balances will be shifted into the trial balance, and the trial balance will be just giving a summary on a piece of paper. Will be giving a summary on a piece of paper. So that is called summarizing the transactions with the help of a trial balance. Actually, trial balance is being used to know the arithmetical accuracy of all transactions recorded in the books of accounts. Arithmetical accuracy of all transactions recorded in the books of account. So that is called our trial balance. Then from this trial balance, we will prepare the financial statement. We will communicate the financial information with the help of financial statement. So the following are the major financial statements. So the one is income statement. So income statement is prepared to know the financial performance or profitability of an organization for a specific period. So with the help of income statement, so we can know whether the business is going into the profit or losses, whether the business is going into the profit or losses. So with the help of income statement, we can know the performance or financial performance of an organization. So if second statement we are going to prepare here, that is statement of financial position. So this statement of financial position, actually it is prepared to know the details about asset, liabilities and owner's equity of an organization at a specific date. तो statement of financial position की मदद से हमें ये पता चलता है कि what is the value of assets, liabilities and owner's equity of an organization at a specific date. At a specific date. तो हमें इसके लिए पता चलता है कि बिजनेस की क्या फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन है. So business सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन से, so we can know with the help of this one statement of financial position. And the third one statement, that is called statement of cash flows. Statement of cash flows. So this statement actually gives information about cash inflows and outflows of different activities of an organization for a specific period. So whatever there are the number of activities of an organization, for example, operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. So there are three major activities of an organization. So how much cash inflow will be coming from these activities, and how much cash outflow will be going out of these activities. So that can be known with the help of this what statement of cash flows. तो statement of cash flows से हमें ये पता चलता है कि कारोबार में कितना कैश आया है और कितना कारोबार से कैश गया है. So these things can be known with the help of this what statement of cash flows. Statement of cash flows. And operating activities, so buying and selling of goods or services is called operating activities. Investing activities mean purchasing and selling of non-current assets, for example building, plant, machinery, furnitures, or investments. So these are what in other companies, so these are the buying and selling of non-current assets is called what investing activities. So how much cash inflow will be coming from these activities and how much cash will be outgoing from these activities. So that is called investing activities. And the third one is financing activities. So taking the long-term loans, returning the long-term loans, and investment by owners actively in the form of a capital and drawings by owners. So these are called our financing activities. So these are the major three activities of an organization. So that is operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities. So with the help of these activities, we can know so how much cash inflow is coming from these activities and how much cash outflow is coming from these activities for a specific period. कि इन एक्टिविटी से कितना कैश कारोबार में आया और कितना कैश कारोबार से गया. So all these things can be known with the help of statement of cash flows. With the help of statement of cash flows. स्टेटमेंट ऑफ कैश फ्लो की मदद से हमें ये पता चलता है कि कितना कैश हमारे पास आ रहा है और कितना कैश हमसे जा रहा है. So this can be known with the help of a statement of cash flows. And the fourth one statement that is called statement of changes in equity. So it is another statement which is being used to communicate the information to the users of financial statement. And with the help of this statement, we can know so what are the major changes in owner's investment or equity due to the profit or losses or investment by the owner or drawings made by the owners for a specific period. So this can be known with the help of this what statement of changes in equity. Statement of changes in equity. So this is the concept of this what accounting. Concept of accounting. And the next I told you that is types of accounting. So we have two major accounting. One is called financial accounting and the second one is called what? Management accounting. Financial accounting actually it is providing overall financial information about an organization for a specific period. Overall financial information about an organization for a specific period. Similarly, so in the financial accounting, only financial nature information is provided. Financial accounting is normally for external users. So it is providing the information for external users. Okay, it is providing information for external users. And the second one is management accounting. So in management accounting, we have both financial and non-financial information is being provided by this what? Management accounting. So this management accounting is providing both information, financial information and non-financial information. Financial information is that information which can be measured in terms of money. And non-financial information like a units produced, quantity produced, hours worked. So these are called our non-financial information. And normally this management accounting is being used for internal use and it is for planning, controlling and decision making. It is for planning, controlling and decision making. So we use this normally for planning, controlling and decision making. And it provides a detailed information for each department, division and unit. But the financial accounting is providing the overall information. So there is another one, tax accounting. Actually, I told you it is a part of financial accounting. So accounts are prepared as per tax requirement. So then these are called tax accounting. And cost accounting is also the part of this what? This is the part of this management accounting. It is the part of management accounting and is recording the cost of products and services. So these are the different types of accounting. Different types of accounting. So we have here. So this is the concept of financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. So what are the major differences between financial accounting and cost accounting? Financial accounting actually provides information to external users and they provide a general purpose information, general purpose financial statement. There is a proper standards, IFRS is for financial statement, and the financial statements are being used to use those international financial reporting standards, are using the general accepted accounting principles. So we have some specific principles and standards which are being used to prepare these financial accounting records. And financial accounting must conform to the generally accepted accounting principles or gaps. And there are some principles. So whenever we are going to prepare the financial accounts, so we have to follow those principles there. Similarly, provides accounting data in monetary terms. Financial accounting system is recording only that information which is measurable in monetary terms, which is measurable in monetary terms. And another one, the financial statements are prepared on a yearly and half yearly basis. So these might be after 6 months, quarterly basis, half yearly basis. So these are the major characteristics of this one, financial accounting. Opposite this, cost accounting or management accounting should provide information to internal users only, produces a specific purpose statements or reports. Statements or reports are being prepared on the basis of needs of the management and they must conform to the needs of the requirement, whatever is required by your manager. So the reports are being prepared on the basis of requirement of your manager. Reports are being prepared on the basis of requirements of your manager and similarly, so it will be providing both information, monetary information and non-monetary information. And cost statements and reports are prepared more frequently. It might be on an hourly basis, daily basis, weekly basis. So these are the being reports so that will be prepared by this one, cost accounting. So cost accounting और financial accounting में ये है कि जो financial accounting है normally providing information for external users. Cost accounting is providing information for internal users. Financial statement is preparing a general purpose financial statement. There is a specific format and standard. There is a specific format for and standard for financial accounting reports. But for cost accounting, there is no specific standard or format. So whatever is required by the manager, so on the basis of that. In the financial accounting, so whenever we are going to prepare the reports, whenever we are going to record the transaction in the books of accounts, so we have to follow some accounting principles. There are international financial reporting standards. So we have to follow those IFRSs. We have to follow those IFRSs in case of financial accounting. But in case of cost accounting, so there are no IFRSs like this way. And this FA financial accounting providing only monetary information, cost accounting providing both monetary and non-monetary information. Financial accounting might be prepared normally on a yearly basis or half-yearly basis, but the cost accounting information is prepared on a daily basis, hourly basis, weekly basis like this. So these are the differences between cost accounting and financial accounting. And what is cost? Cost actually, cost as for going measured in money, whatever is going out from you to achieve a specific objective and measurable in a monetary term, that is called cost. That is called what? Cost. जो भी चीज आपसे जा रही है to purchase a something, to acquire a something. So whatever is going out of you, measurable in a monetary term, to purchase something, to acquire something. So value of that item, whatever is going out of you, that is called cost. For example, if you want to purchase a table for $1,000, so this $1,000 will be a what? Cost of a table. And whenever you want to purchase any machinery for $20,000, so whatever is going out of you in the form of dollars, this 20,000 will be your what? Cost. जब भी किसी चीज को परचेज करने के लिए, एक्वायर करने के लिए जो भी चीज आपसे जो आ रही है, if it is going money, so whatever is the amount of money, that will be a cost. If it is going anything in the form of any asset, so the value of that asset will be your what? Cost. अगर वो एसेट की सूरत में जो आ रही है, so that will be your what? Cost will be there. Okay, so this is the concept of cost. And the next is, what is difference between cost and expense? What is difference between cost and expense? Cost actually amount invested. Cost, it is the amount invested, or it is the amount incurred to purchase a product, to produce an item from which the benefit has not yet been expired, from which still we have to take the benefit, from which we have to receive the services. So that is called what? Cost. An expired benefit of cost is called what? Expense. It is the amount of cost which is paid, which is incurred, which we have incurred, so from which we have taken the benefit. So that is called or what? Expense. For example, you purchase inventory for 1,000. Out of 1,000 inventory, you sold 500 inventory. Then this 500 sold inventory will be your cost, will be your expense, and remainder 500 will be your what? Cost will be there. Let me give you one example here. For example, what is difference between cost and expense? Difference between cost and expense. Cost means it is the amount incurred or paid to purchase an item from which still we have take the benefit. Take the benefit. This is called our cost. On the other side, expense. Expenses. It is the amount incurred or paid from which we have taken the benefit. For example, let me tell you, for example, we paid rent of $12,000 from January 1, 22 December 31st, 2020 on January 1, 2020. तो अगर हमने फॉर एग्जांपल 12,000 का अगर हमने रेंट पे किया है ऑन जनवरी 1st 2020 फ्रॉम जनवरी 1 अप टू 2020 to December 31st. So at the end of January 31st, 2020. So out of this 12,000, this 12,000 is for 12 months. So see here, 1 month finished. So we have taken out, so for 1 month, for example, 1,000 is coming. So this 1,000 for January will become what? Expense. And the remainder 11,000, so that will be our what? Cost, because it's yet paid in advance. It's yet paid in advance. Paid in advance. We have not yet taken the benefit. So whatever is months will be expiring, you will getting the benefit from this. So then it will be becoming our what? Expense there. At the end of February, then it will become 2,000. End of March, the expense will become 3,000 and the cost will left how much? 9,000. So this way it will be going like this way. तो जितने जितने महीने इसमें से गुजरते जाएंगे हम उस बिल्डिंग को इस्तेमाल करते जाएंगे तो हमारा किराया उसमें से खत्म होता जाएगा, एक्सपेंस होता जाएगा. तो दैट विल बी पार्ट ऑफ आवर एक्सपेंस. और जो अभी हमने यूज करना है अभी रहता है सो दैट पार्ट विल बी कॉल्ड आवर व्हाट? कॉस्ट. तो इसको हम क्या कहते हैं कि ये हमारे पास क्या चीज है? कॉस्ट है. तो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कॉस्ट एंड एक्सपेंस. दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कॉस्ट एंड expense. Okay, so this is the concept of cost and expense. And next is classification of a cost. So there are various ways of classifying the cost. So each classification serves as a different purpose. So important classifications are given below. So the first one classification is called functional classification. So these are the major two functions. The one is called manufacturing function. Another one is called commercial function. Manufacturing cost or production cost. Manufacturing cost or production cost actually are those costs which are incurred to produce the items. For example, direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. So whenever we are going to talk about the manufacturing cost, so there are three elements of manufacturing cost. The one is called direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. So those costs which are incurred to produce an item, so these costs are called our manufacturing cost. Another one is commercial cost. So whenever items are produced, so then to sell these items, so other expenses are incurred to distribute these items to customer. So whatever expenses are incurred to produce item to sell to the customer, so these expenses are called commercial expenses. So for this purpose, we have two types of commercial expenses here. The one is distribution and selling expenses. Distribution expenses are expenses to deliver the items to the customers, to distribute the items to the customers. So these are called distribution expenses. Selling expenses are called what? For example, if we go for details for these, when we talk about classification of a cost, classification of costs. So the first one is functional classification. Function classification. It means cost is classified on the basis of functions. So the first one is that is called manufacturing cost. Manufacturing or production cost. It is the cost incurred to produce an item following or the major three costs of production. These are the major costs of production. One is called direct materials. Direct materials. Direct material means it is the cost of materials which can be directly identified and amount of which can be exactly measured in the cost of an item is called direct materials. For example, wood in a chair, wood or steel in making a table or chair. This is called direct material. This is called what? Direct material. Similarly, second is direct labor. Second is direct labor, the cost of which can be directly identified in the cost of an item. For example, daily wage workers who are directly involved in the production of an item. For example, carpenter wages in making chair or table. So this is called direct labor. And the third one, factory overhead. All other costs then direct materials and direct labor, which are incurred to produce an item, are called factory overhead. For example, there will be indirect materials, like paint, nails, etc. Indirect labor, for example, production managers' salaries, supervisors' salaries, inspection team salaries, which cannot be directly identified in the production of item. And similarly, for example, heat, light, power, depreciation, for example. Depreciation means decrease in value of an asset. Repair and maintenance. Repair and maintenance. And similarly, electricity, wells, etc. So these are the examples of. In other words, we can say in a factory, for example, this is a factory. It is a place of factory. So wherever we are going to produce the item, so the all cost of item will be classified into three items. One will be called direct labor, and another will be direct materials, and the third one is what? Factory overhead. So the all cost incurred in the factory area are classified in these three categories: direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead. And some of these is called what? Production cost. Production cost. This is called a factory. And there will be another place, so that is called head office. That is called what? Head office. And normally this head office is placed in the center of the city. And this factory is placed out of city area. Out of city area, okay? And head office is normally in the heart of city. In the heart of city. So in the head office, then there will be a, for example, selling and distribution expenses. And the second one is administrative expenses. Administrative expenses. And these both head office expenses are called what? Commercial expenses. We call them what? Commercial expenses. So in this commercial expenses, so the one we call it, so that is called in the commercial expenses, so the one is called what? Selling and distribution expenses. Selling and distribution expenses. So selling and distribution expenses actually, so these expenses are incurred to sell and distribute the items to customers. Items to customers. For example, there will be advertising, promotion, transport expenses, and similarly there might be some schemes, so etc. So these are coming in this what? Selling expenses. And the second one is, that is in case of this, so that is called the administrative expenses. Administrative expenses, actually these expenses are incurred to manage the overall business activities of an organization. Activities of an organization. Okay. For example, in this, there will be a accounts department expenses, administration, HR, and admin department expenses, overall management expenses. So these are the examples of this what? Commercial expenses. This is the second type we have here in case of function, that is called commercial expenses. So the commercial expenses are divided into two categories: selling and distribution expenses, and the next one is what? Administrative expenses. Okay. So this way we can say that these are the different types of expenses. And next is cost with respect to period. Cost with respect to period. This is another one classification. The one is called product cost. Another one is called period cost. Cost with respect to this another classification. Cost with respect to, this is the second classification. Cost with respect to period or product. So for this we have a product cost. These costs are incurred only if we are going to make any item. Going to make any item. If no item is produced, then these costs will not be incurred. For example, in this we have a two costs: direct materials and second one is direct labor. If we are going to make the item, so then there will be a cost. If we are not going to make any item, so then these costs will not be incurred. So these are called what? Product costs. Product costs are always incurred or paid with respect to a product, with respect to an item, with respect to a product or with respect to an item. So we are going to produce this item. Okay. And second one is that is called period cost. Period cost. For example, so these costs are incurred or paid with respect to period of time. Period of time. So just say, so these might be on monthly basis. For example, salaries. For example, salaries. Is there work or not? We have to make the payment. For example, salaries, electricity bills, telephone bills. So these are paid on period basis. These are paid on a period basis. So this is called cost with respect to period. Cost with respect to period. So these are the concept of this what? Period cost. Concept of period cost. And another way we can make the classification direct cost and indirect. This is already I told you. So direct material, so which can be directly identified with the cost of a product. So that is called direct material. For example, timber in a chair or table, cloth in a shirt, basic or essential packing material like cartons, boxes, papers. So that is called a what? Direct material. So the cost of which can be directly identified in the cost of an item, that is called direct material. And indirect material, the cost which cannot be allocated or identified directly and which are to be absorbed by units produced. Absorb means which can be averagely distributed, which can be averagely distributed. Exactly we cannot find the cost of that material. So that is called, for example, fuel, lubricant, tools for general use, glue, thread in shirts, nails in shoes. So these are the examples of this what? Direct materials and indirect materials. Direct materials and indirect materials. Similarly, we also have a labor. There will be a direct labor and indirect labor. So labor, direct labor, the cost which can be directly identified with the cost of an item. All labor expending in the converting raw materials into the desirable goods. So that is called, I told you the, for example, the wages of production workers. The workers who are directly working on the machines. The daily wage workers who are working on the machine, they are directly involved in the production of items. The wages of those persons will be called by direct labor. And indirect labor, so these people will be working in a factory, but they will not be directly involved in the production. So the which cannot be directly allocated or identified. For example, there will be idle time wages. Idle time means so the payment is made, but the no work done by the employees. That is called idle time. Maintenance, repairs, wages, leave salaries, implies contribution to the fund. Similarly, if there is any supervisor salaries, production manager salaries, other manager salaries. So these are the examples of this one, direct labor. So this is the lecture for today. Inshallah, for the next lecture, then we will start from this onward in the next class. So that's it for today, okay? So inshallah, in the next class, then I will repeat and then, okay?